Welcome to Outlaw Woodworking. Today we're going to prep 48 sheets of plywood for the snap tie system, and I'm using the John A brackets and basically a snap tie system. And right now, lumber prices are really high. Actually, I got 4 different quotes, and actually all of them were $90 a sheet. But then I told this guy, hey, he gave me a quote like a couple weeks earlier at $60 a sheet. So we compromised, and he sold me 48 sheets for $75 a sheet, which is basically $30 a sheet more than it's worth. But that's what's happening right now. It's inflation. It's June 2021, and prices are really high. So I didn't want my project to stop, so I basically went ahead and bought these sheets. Next week next week I've been told that everybody's going to be $90 a sheet, and I had even got a quote at the construction desk at Home Depot on the same morning, and it was actually they were $100 a sheet at Home Depot. It's pretty strange. I don't, because lumber prices have come down. I keep the lumber index price on my phone, and it got as high as 1,700 a linear foot, or 1,700, but it had come down below 1,000, and so I thought the prices would come down, but the guy in the lumberyard, he told me that the glued products are still really high because they're so in demand. So right here, I come back. What I need to do is I need to drill 5/8 inch holes each piece, and what I want to do is try to drill as many of them at a time by stacking a bunch together and lining them up and then drilling them. When I first started right here, I put about 10 of them. I put about 10 of them together, but it was too hard to line them up 10 at a time. So this pile took me a little longer to do. But once I figured out that I could line up 5 of them really easy, I started doing 5 at a time instead of 10. I got a brand new worm drive drill bit, 5/8 of an inch. And that's what it calls for the snap ties. Now right here I'm marking off 8 inches on the ends, and then it'll be every 16 inches. So basically that's the 8-inch part. Then I measure up 12 inches on each side, and that'll be the long ways. So basically 12 inches up, and there's a hole every 16 inches. 8 inches from the sides, and then every 16 inches. And this stem wall for my garage is basically only 4 feet tall. So sometimes if you're using the snap tie system and you have a taller wall, you would want to do a layout with maybe more holes. So I figured out that right here I'm just doing 2 at a time. But eventually I figure out that I can do a lot easier 5 at a time. And there's the first 2. And what I'm going to do is use this first piece as the template. Actually right there I'm doing all of them at once. I got them clamped on each corner. The clamps work good because it keeps them straight. It was really hot out here today. It was probably in the 90s. Right here is when I figure out that if I put 5 of them together, it seems to work a lot better. clamp on my template piece, and then drill more holes. Pretty boring, but I have 48 of them to do, and my plan is to get them all drilled in this day. Preparing yourself ahead of time for projects is probably one of the most important things. If you prepare ahead of time, you basically, when it comes time to go out there and form this up, it'll be really easy as long as you prepare all of your equipment and supplies, have everything you need prepared ahead of time. Now, my idea is to take really good care of all these forms, all these plywood forms that I'm making, so that I can use them on my next project. And so my idea is to not put a lot of screw holes and nails into these forms, and I'm going to use the John A. snap tie system, which I'll show you in future videos. And I'm also going to make sure that after I'm done using these, I stack them and band them up really good for the next project. So that's about half the stack right there. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these outside and basically start using my this form release product and spray all these sheets. This product that I bought seemed to be pretty good. I'm going to have to get probably 10 more gallons to cover this many sheets of plywood. But basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray both sides of the plywood ahead of time. And that way, it takes a long time to prep this much wood. So you're way better off to get it done ahead of time. I was actually surprised how much of this release agent that it used up on this plywood. I only had about 2.5 gallons, and it didn't go very far. So I know I'm gonna have to go buy 10 more gallons to make sure that I got enough to treat all this plywood prior to pouring the concrete. Anyway, this is kind of a long video. Basically, it's just prepping your plywood for the snap tie system. Yeah, hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you next time. Later.